You stand before the altar, where the ritual will take place. Grateful for helping her pass the ocean trials, Fila speaks to you and your allies one by one. We always had the best conversations, she tells Laddie with a smile. Laddie returns the gesture. Thank you for showing me a strange new world, she says to Lack, who blushes ever so slightly. Finally, the Azure Maiden turns toward you with an earnest look in her eyes. Protect Laddie, she tells you. Seeing that you mean it, Fila gives a relieved smile. Before the ritual, the two hold each other without a word, sharing in their mutual warmth. The scene before you almost breaks your heart. It's as if the two are saying their final farewells. Fila climbs atop the altar, and the Maiden's relic begins to shine, as if responding to the altar. Amidst the dazzling light, the Azure Maiden turns to you and speaks. With those words, Fila transforms into light and journeys to where the spirit dwells. Her ceaseless smile remains on her face until the very last moment. The tears on her cheeks, however, tell a different story. The Azure Maiden's relic clatters to the altar. The ritual is over. Silence fills the room. Fila, the Azure Maiden, is gone. The sacrificial Maiden's ritual, conducted to protect the island, has claimed her. You shift your gaze toward Laddie and wonder if she embarked on this journey knowing this harsh truth. A voice breaks the silence. The Azure attendant's spiteful laughter reverberates throughout the room. Neither you nor Laddie can hide how shaken the man's sudden transformation has you. You had expected sadness, not this. Your voice quivers as you ask. Hyde doesn't hesitate to answer your fearful question. Hyde tells you that the village forced him to be the Maiden's attendant, regardless of his wishes. Attendants must follow the village customs and continue to serve the spirit summoned by the Maiden during the ritual for their entire lives. Becoming an attendant forced him to give up on his childhood dream of becoming an accessory craftsman. Because of that, he abhorred the Azure Maiden from the bottom of his heart. Even so, he continued to play the role of the smiling lover that Fila desired. Hyde raises his fist overhead to smash his couple's charm, indelibly stained with his deep-seated feelings of hatred. But he cannot bring himself to throw it down. The words of the sprightly young Azure Maiden echo in his mind. Though he should have hated her, he had been bewitched by her magical smile. The cries of the Azure attendant filled with both hatred and sorrow, reverberate through the halls of the seabed temple forever and ever. Hyde says, "Leave me be." Your group leaves him and re-emerges from the depths of the sea. Laddie grips Phila's Maiden's relic in hand. The Azure attendant entrusted it to you to help you on your journey. When you parted ways, Hyde informed you that there was rumored to be... When you parted ways, Hyde informed you that there was rumored to be a hot-blooded maiden in Hero's dominion on an isle in the Western Ocean. You call out to Laddie, who is gazing forlornly at the Maiden's relic, and your group returns to your journey. The village gets so quiet without the maiden here, he says sadly. She gazes intently into the crystal ball. The next maiden will be, she says haltingly, choking back tears. I too ought to live my life the way I want, she whispers to herself. The man gazes out at the sea, his fishing seemingly forgotten. When will the maiden come back to our village? The young boy asks himself, diligently folding paper into a gift for her. It appears the sea has undergone a change while you were adventuring with the Azure Maiden. The route to the western seas has opened. Now you can look for a way onto the isle where the maiden lives. Empty bottles, broken ornaments, and other useless odds and ends roll out. Your shoulders sink in disappointment. Just as you begin to sniffle, Laddie picks up something from the heap of junk and shows it to you with an elated smile. Your journey across the sea has taken you to the West Isle. On the West Isle, you will hear the tale of a maiden in red. Very well then, prepare to go ashore. The West Isle's parched, russet-colored expanse greets you. The bones of weaker travelers strewn about it, as both welcome and warning. You dock your ship at the pier and set foot ashore. Laddie takes a deep bow in the direction of the Bon Fong, as if thanking it for safely delivering everyone to land. You consult your navigation map once more to confirm your location, and resolve to head through the gorge toward Hero's Dominion. Magnificent. Laddie appears to have found something on the roadside. You look where she is pointing and spot a small drawstring pouch lying on the ground. Inside the pouch is a simple but beautiful necklace. Laddie's eyes light up at the sight of it. You gently place the necklace around Laddie's neck. Though she initially looks confused, when you say, "It looks nice on you," her cheeks flush slightly and she smiles. A thief appears. The brigand points at Laddie's simple necklace and yells, "Give that back." He continues, insisting in a rather courteous tone, "That necklace was something I stole from an accessory shop in Heroes Dominion." As the thief would have you believe, he pilfered the bauble from the shop and then dropped it in the midst of his escape. He's been looking for it ever since. He grabs for it and tries to wrench it off Laddie's throat. You've no choice but to fight to defend your ally. Hope you win. Magnificent. You look down at the thief, splayed flat on the ground, and say a few words of admonishment. If you take anything away from this, let it be that you should stop plying the pilfering trade. The brigand seems to regret what he's done and cries back, "Please listen. I want to return the stolen necklace to the shop I took it from." You believe the thief's tears of regret are genuine, so you take the simple necklace from Laddie and hand it over. The thief bows his head deeply and then heads off in the direction of Heroes Dominion. You happen to look down and spot a dingy charm on the ground. It seems the thief dropped it as he left. On the back of the charm is a child's writing. "Daddy, do your best at work." Kind of prone to dropping things, isn't he, you utter, somewhat flabbergasted, as you slip the charm into your pack. Fight him off. Fortune favors the bold. Magnificent. A well-to-do looking old man calls out to you. Care to try your luck? You decide to tempt fortune. The old man says that if you can roll a higher number than specified, you'll win a prize at no cost. However, a meager roll will require you purchase the prize from him at an inflated price. Now then, let's begin. Today's prize is... The old man pulls something from his bag. You take a die from the old man and give it a squeeze. It's do or die. Your wager with the old man pays off. He hands you your prize and says, "This is only the beginning," before taking his leave. You make your way through the gorge, its walls of russet stone towering above you. It too is littered with the bones of fallen warriors and their sand-blasted blades. Unnerved, you steal only brief glances at them as you charge ahead. But you notice Laddie regards them with a certain sadness. No one says a word for quite some time. Isn't that the Dominion? Lack chirps from its resting place in Laddie's hood, breaking the silence. Indeed, the gorge gives way to a large basin, at the center of which presumably lies Hero's Dominion. Laddie wipes the sweat from her brow and shuffles toward a nearby rock to sit down. "Stop! That's a monster!" you shout. Too late to prevent it from attacking poor Laddie. In one swift blow, a wild-eyed boy strikes the monster down. "You all right?" he barks, turning to Laddie. Unfortunately, it seems the enemy was not alone. More of them appear behind you, closing in fast. A man's voice emerges from the helmet and suit of armor before you. "Those worthy of being Maiden must never let their guard down, Lavia," it chides. "I know, Gladio. I know," the boy grimaces. "What luck! It appears you've bumped into the Crimson Maiden completely by chance, which would make this Gladio fellow, in all the armor, the Crimson Attendant. This is all terribly convenient." You thank the duo for saving Laddie, and explain that you will have need of the Maiden's relic if they'd be so kind as to lend it to you. The Crimson Maiden appears startled by your sudden request. "Apologies, but we're in a hurry," he says curtly. Apparently, a foul beast the Dominion uses for blood sport has escaped, and it has fallen to the Crimson Maiden to recapture it. Unwilling to let these two out of your sight, After such a fortuitous meeting, you agree to help them track the beast down. The woman's eyes dart between you as she scribbles something in her notebook. She who controls the information controls the fight, she says, before asking how powerful you are. To hear this man tell it, the last maiden was a proper hero of war. Compared to her, well, he trails off as a heavy sigh of disapproval forces its way out of him. Upon entering the shop, Laddie looks surprised and points at something. Following her gesture, you spy the familiar sight of the simple necklace. The owner explains that this necklace had been stolen, but then, wonder of wonders, the very miscreant who made off with it later returned it himself. Suddenly, from the back of the shop, said miscreant shows himself. The one-time thief bows his head self-consciously. Evidently, the owner took a shine to the honest thief and offered him a job working in the shop. You remove the dingy charm from your pack and hand it to the man. Taking it in hand, he is so overcome with joy that he begins to weep. As it turns out, the charm was a gift from his beloved child. He had been searching for it all this time. He grips the cherished charm tightly, explaining, "I only ever stole to put food on the table for my child." The shop owner proffers something to you, calling it a thank you for helping him meet a man with such an honest heart. You stepped on my foot, the man says, squaring up to you mere inches from your face. You have no memory of stepping on anything even vaguely foot-like. You apologize profusely, hoping to avoid any trouble. "Aw, we were supposed to duke it out," he says, clearly disappointed. The innkeeper challenges you to an arm wrestling match in lieu of any greeting. You handily defeat her. She then informs you that strong warriors such as yourself get to rent rooms free of charge. You and your party can stay however often you'd like. As you walk away, you're fairly certain you hear her bitterly complaining that she's yet to win a single match and that her business is doomed. I'm gonna ups to the ground and manages a mere 5 push-ups before collapsing in exhaustion. The man stands stock still, silently praying over those whose lives were lost in the arena this day. A gate stands tall before you, marred here and there by deep gouges and scratch marks. You reckon the monsters for the arena battles are kept within. Apparently, one ferocious beast, she explains, that has vanquished every warrior to have challenged it. Watch yourself. Folks around here will use any excuse to start a fight, the woman warns you. You can't help but notice the glint of a knife in her belt. The Maiden's shrine yet stands, though you think it looks rather forlorn. Clearly, it has been neglected in favor of the arena. The man eagerly awaits his turn in the ring. "My quarrel is not with humans," he says gravely. You take that to mean he'll only be fighting monsters out there. "We need the money. The kids have to eat," the woman says to herself, seeming ready to put her life on the line to win. "No, no, I forgot my salve," the man yells in a panic. A sudden calm washes over him. Oh, wait, there was a merchant back in the vestibule. What an emotional ride this man's life must be. "I'm not taking registrations now," the receptionist says flatly. Congrats. Excellent. I don't know what it is, but there's just something so relaxing about the sound of waves, isn't there? I love it. Fight 'em off. Ahoy, matey. It's like you can feel the... Magnificent. And fight. Ah, the great... Show 'em what you got. Magnificent.